Susan's eyes welled up as she gazed at Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel fresco. She and her husband Mark could hardly believe they were standing in Vatican City, seeing in person what they'd only seen in books. Wow. A year ago, a trip to Italy felt like an impossible dream, too complicated and tiring to arrange. Yet here they were, strolling through Roman ruins and Tuscan vineyards, without a worry. How did they do that? Let's find out how Susan and Mark made their Italian adventure truly effortless. Susan felt a deep connection to Italy because her grandparents were from there, and Mark, an art lover, longed to see the Renaissance masterpieces in person. But planning a trip across the world felt daunting. They didn't speak Italian, had no idea how to navigate trains or avoid tourist traps. The more they researched, the more overwhelming it felt. One night, Mark closed his laptop with a sigh, saying, maybe we should just stick to watching travel shows. Instead of giving up, they tried a different approach. They reached out to a travel specialist who helped them craft an itinerary to Italy with a small group tour. From the moment they met their director, Alicia, in Rome, all the pressure lifted. Everything was handled for them. A comfy coach to take them from city to city. Tickets pre-booked, so they skipped the long lines. They cut the lines, guys. And Alicia even handling the language translations when necessary. Suddenly, Italy wasn't intimidating at all. It felt welcoming. In Rome, Susan and Mark stood in awe beneath the ancient columns of the Colosseum, imagining gladiators of old and feeling grateful they didn't have to figure out any ticket lines because they were already pre-ticketed. That evening, they wandered through Rome with a gelato in hand. Oh, I can remember that. Soaking in the city's magic without a care in the world. Next, their tour took them to Florence, beautiful city, where the couple finally stood face to face with Michelangelo's David. Very impressive. A moment Mark had dreamed of for years. Thanks to their guide, they beat the crowds and saw the masterpiece close up. That afternoon, they savored cappuccinos at a cafe Alicia recommended, far from the tourist crowds. And then their tour rolled into the Tuscan countryside, where Susan and Mark spent an afternoon at a family-run vineyard, laughing with the welcoming owners. Despite the language barrier, they truly felt like part of the family. In Venice, their final stop, Susan and Mark glided in a gondola under the Rialto Bridge. Venice can be crowded, but Alicia's careful timing let them experience its magic without the usual stress. Why was Susan and Mark's trip so smooth? Let's break that down. Expert planning. They worked with experts who crafted a smart itinerary that meant central hotels, efficient routes, and reserved entries to popular attractions. Using someone with insider knowledge is like having a cheat sheet. They skipped the common hazards and the hassles and went right to the front of the line. Comfortable pacing. Susan and Mark spent at least 2 nights in each city, giving them time to rest and soak in each place. Busy sightseeing days, like touring the Vatican, were balanced with leisurely afternoons to sip espresso or just people watch at one of the piazzas. Building in breathing room kept the trip fun, not exhausting. Local guidance. Having Alicia, a local guide, was invaluable. She knew the best times to visit the big sites to avoid crowds and led them to hidden gem eateries and shops. When a train strike happened one morning, Alicia had a backup plan. Susan and Mark barely noticed a hiccup in their vacation plans. Embrace the culture. Susan and Mark stayed flexible and open to surprises. Rather than trying to control every detail, they went with the flow of the Italian way in life. They learned a few Italian greetings, smiled with the locals, and said "si" to new experiences. The mindset made their trips so much more rewarding. Listen, Susan and Mark's adventure shows that the right approach, even dream destinations, can be stress-free and rewarding. If Italy is on your bucket list, or any dream destination, remember, you don't have to do it alone. Get expert help or join a group. Go at a comfortable pace and savor each moment. Travel isn't just about checking sites off a list, it's about enjoying the experience to the fullest. Are you dreaming of your own trip to Italy or anywhere else? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you. If you enjoyed Susan and Mark's story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel tips and tales. Until next time, arrivederci, happy travels and bon voyage.